Welcome back to another episode of Omni Garage After Hours on the Thor Media channel. So today, Glenn and I, we have got a BMW X5 behind us. We wash this car really regular. This is one of our regular clients. This car has been polished, paint corrected. It's got a 5-year ceramic coating on it from G-Technic. So we see this car quite a lot. He's on our maintenance program, so this car gets regularly washed by us. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a versus style video. We're going to compare just your normal water rinse off as like a pre-rinse, and then we're also going to compare that with Premise 2.0 by Laba Cosmetica as a bit of a pre-wash. And we're going to show you why it's important to do a pre-treat on a vehicle that requires it. So this BMW has done a few hundred kilometers. It's been down to the bottom of the North Island and come back again. It's been through a bit of a rainstorm, so we've got the perfect amount of road film built up onto this vehicle. So this is kind of not your heavy typical stuff. This would be summer based dirt, and you can see that, you know, all the water wash has splashed up on the side of this vehicle. So we have sort of asphalt roads. What happens is we get sort of oil gets dropped on the surface that's mixed with the tar mixture, and when it rains that slush comes up onto the vehicle, and you can see it all along the back, which is a typical area that we have, along the sides, and mainly at the front as well from that front wheel. So we're going to show you why it's important to do a bit of a pre-treat. Now, doing a pre-treat on this vehicle is not going to remove all the dirt and grime of this vehicle. You can't do a touchless wash at this point in life, but what we can do is we can remove majority of the dirt and grime so that when we do come into our contact wash, which is when we've got our wash pad and some soap on the surface of the paint, is that majority of that sand and grit has been removed so that we're eliminating our ability to add in marring and scratching. So the cleaner we have the surface before we contact it is better, the safest wash for us. So we're going to show you how effective this product is at getting us a long way to cleaning up the vehicle. I have actually spent the time to speak with Reggie Cox from Laba Cosmetica. He was on a podcast right at the beginning of our time at the Thor Media channel, and it was probably about about an hour's worth of podcasting. And Reggie Cox, he said that he primarily uses a 1 to 10 dilution of the old Laba Cosmetica Premise 2.0. So I'm going to do 50 ml of product. Is that 50 ml? Pretty close.
It's 50 ml.
50 ml in the old trusty foam cannon. And we'll fill that to the 500 mark on the foam cannon. That'll give us 10 to 1. So it's good math.
Yep, it's that's effectively it's a 9 to 1, isn't it?
9 to 1. Oh wow, 9 to 1 it is.
That'll do.
DI water, because we always use DI water here at Omni Garage.
Yeah, absolutely. Fill that up to the 500 line. Perfect.
Pretty close, isn't it?
And we are ready to go. What are we going to do? Should we do this side of the car?
Yeah, we can do
Around
that
here?
side. Whoa!
Not the first time that's happened.
Not the first time, no. Always get squirted by the water here at Omni Garage.
So I think we do this side of the car because we've got some really nice lighting over here. We're out of the direct sunlight. We've got the back door of the car, we've got the front door of the car.
So why don't we use, so this is a little bit wet because we've already cleaned the wheels. So I'll do a water rinse here.
Yep.
And I'll do a Premise pre-treat here.
Yep.
Dry it off, show you the results. We'll do a tissue paper test. Righty.
Do you think the fairest way to do this is foam the product on and then rinse off all in one go? Or you're going to do it like...
Oh, yeah.
It will be, right?
Yeah, okay. We've got to be consistent on how we do the results because I know a couple of you guys aren't happy about the way we do testing, changing things as we go to, you know, so you just get us clear. What are we doing?
Okay, so what we're going to do, let's set the expectation. We are going to pre-treat the door, and then you're going to rinse the door and rinse the back door, which we haven't touched, at the same time, and then we get the result from there.
Okay.
Because each door then is getting one rinse. Yes, you could argue that by spraying the product on and the foam cannon onto the surface there, it's effectively getting a first rinse. It's not a rinse, because we're not hitting it with high pressure. We're just throwing some soap on there. Okay, and you're
So some people are going to say there's a bit of overspray on that side as well, but...
yeah, I mean, we could have set up a like a tarpaulin so you couldn't have come across. There is a little bit on there, but...
so we will let this dwell as long as we can until basically the verge of drying. We'll push this out as far as we can really go, and then we'll do it do a nice rinse. But let me tell you, the best test you guys can do is actually go to thehouseofrags.com, buy yourself some products that we talk about, some products that we recommend, and try them out for yourself. You personally doing it is the best review you could ever have. Try that on in your own vehicle, try that on in your own conditions, try that on in your own sort of climate and things like that, and you will decide which products you like, and then go from there. But if you want to try anything out like this from our recommendations, go over to thehouseofrags.com, use the code OmniGarage. That will save you 10% off at checkout. Glenn and I are affiliated with the House of Rags. We get a little bit of a kickback from that, but that just allows us to buy more and more products so that we can make more and more videos for you guys to watch.
What do you say? Let's time lapse this. We'll quicken it up, show you guys the whole process, and then no one can go, oh, how long was that? Because it's live on screen. I don't even think we break the shot. Let's set up the tripod there, and we'll send this at maybe 20 times speed. Okay, so we've been however long that's been. Let's pick up the pressure washer, let's rinse both of these doors, and then we'll do a paper towel test and show you the final results, water versus premise. Okay. So I want to be fair here, so the way I'm going to rinse this, just so you guys know ahead of time, I'm going to start here, I'm going to rinse across all the way, down. I'm going to like cross hatch this so everything gets equal rinsing rather than me kind of, you know, jimmying this area and doing a bit more over there. And our foam has not quite dried on, we've still got some runoff here as you can see. So let's start from this top corner here. Okay, I feel like that's pretty fair rinse. Let me get the leaf blower, let's accelerate the drying process here.
So here are our dried results. So it looks like there's still that sort of traffic film in the middle of the door all the way along on the side that we just rinsed with water. And then as we transition over to the side that we treated with premise, we sort of get less of that whitewash. And I don't know if you noticed, but it was quite noticeable down here on this side of the door. Under here it sort of looked like that side, the side that we didn't treat, that sort of, there's a little bit there.
What do you think? Paper towel test?
Yeah, you can do a paper towel test, but
okay.
That was just with plain old water, and that was with a bit of premise. So, Glenn, you can do a paper towel test.
Okay, let's go. Bang smack, middle of the door, paper towel.
So you can see that dirt there, and you can see where Glenn's actually taken it from there. Those lines. Do the same with this side.
Do the same on here. Let's go from here to about there. Back door, front door.
And you can see the lines. We've still got it.
And I think the area you can really look at on here is this lower side skirt. You can really see it very clearly. Like if I wipe my finger on that, you can very clearly see what's left on there. And if I do the same on the back, use a different finger. Look, I do think that it has knocked it down a little bit, and I think we have slightly more dirt at the back here.
So this is water treated side?
Yep.
Premise treated side.
And then if you come along and you compare it to this panel here, okay, so you can see what we've got. But I guess the argument here is, was the water rinsing off the car what resulted in getting us the finish that doesn't have all of that white dirt and dust on it, or was it the premise? Now, one of the things to consider here as well is what type of hydrophobics do we have on both of these surfaces here? Has the premise actually done a job at cleansing the surface and potentially reinvigorating ceramic coating on there? So let's rinse it. So that's our water side. And that's our premise side. And if we hit them together, that's what we've got.
So there you go. That is a side-by-side comparison of a water rinse versus a Premise 2.0 rinse. And I think what you can say here is both panels are still dirty, right? We still kind of expect that. But what you can see is that on the side that we treated with Premise 2.0, there has been some cleaning done. Probably a little bit, not a hell of a lot, but there has been some cleaning that has been done. The longer we let that dwell on the surface, maybe change our dilution from a 1 to 10 dilution to maybe a 1 to 5. The other thing you've got to remember here is that we did a 1 to 10 dilution in the foam cannon.
Which is the recommended from Labo Cosmetica. So
yeah, and so that's going to then dilute out even further. But what you could do is you could do a 1 to 10 dilution in a pump sprayer, spray that on, or in a trigger sprayer. That means you're getting the true 1 to 10 dilution because it's not diluting with the added water from the foam cannon, and maybe you could get slightly different results there. But I think what we can say here is that cleaning has been done by doing a pre-treat, and that's why you do it. You remove some of the dirt and grime off the surface. You remove some of the salts, maybe some of the sands, some of the grits, so that you have a cleaner surface before you come into your contact wash. And I think that's what we've just demonstrated here, a slightly cleaner surface than when we started with our baseline control of just a water rinse. So that is it from Omni Garage. I hope you've enjoyed this sort of explanation that we've demonstrated here. It's totally up to you guys now to decide whether you think it's worth spending the money doing a pre-treat or not. For us at Omni Garage, in a situation like this, we definitely use it all the time because we know that it's beneficial that we get some cleaning done before we come into our contact wash. But I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, write in the comments because we're in there reading the comments. It helps us develop more content and helps us develop our cleaning process and have a good old discussion with you guys. But that's it. Stay tuned for the next one and we'll see you next week.